Stop.
This is absolutely lit. This is lit.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This, my friends, is Dark Times with Dark Match Steve. Welcome. Come on in. Get ready to get slutty. If you're in here, you should already be ready to get slutty. You should stay ready to get slutty. If you know where you're at. If you're new around here, God help you. You stumbled onto this and you don't already know what you're in store for. God help you. Welcome. Tonight, we are getting into Alex Stein debating attorney John Morgan of Morgan and Morgan. That's the main event for tonight. We got a bunch of other shit to talk about. I'll get to the chat in a minute and welcome everybody getting in here. Thank you for tuning in. But yeah, we got a bunch of different shit to get into. And of course, like I say every other night, guys, we can't stay on late tonight, okay? Because I'm working on a parody song. I tried to have it done for yesterday, but I just got too much shit going on, guys. But I also, this is another thing too. I was told for this parody song, I know what Bubba ordered. I know what he asked for, okay? And I think they're gonna like the song either way, but they wanted it to be like a minute. I know, like I at least I think part of the deal is that they're wanting Tuttle to play it on a speaker or something like that. I don't know exactly, but either way, just because I had a little bit of my creative juices were flowing when I was writing this parody song. So I did a second verse, okay? So they asked for a minute-long song. I had the lyrics for that. And before I was going to start recording, I started thinking of more lyrics and stuff. And I already had, like, more stuff written down than I needed. And I was like, fuck, man, I'll just make a full song. It'll be like 2 minutes. And, if they want to just, if they could just play a minute. If Tuttle only needs a minute or only has a minute for whatever bit they're using it for, they can just play a minute. They could even cut it short, like I could do if they wanted me to. If they're like, look, just give us the minute-long version, cut the other verse off, so we'll just have that isolated for Tuttle. I can do that. But I went ahead and made a full parody song, okay? I have everything, all the vocals are recorded, and guys, it actually, like, I popped on just my impression of Creed. We know, let me get to the chat so I can say hi to everybody and join. I know they're probably itching to join in on this conversation here, but yeah, guys, the quality of the vocals and stuff I think is pretty good. It's actually like I'm doing a pretty damn good. The Creed vocals, I won't even try to do an impression right now, but you'll hear it. The Creed vocals I did are actually, I was laughing at just the impression and stuff. The lyrics with the impression, it actually, like, it sounds like the singer singing the song. Like it does. It's not, I think it's almost at the level where someone could think it's AI because, like, whatever. Not that it's that good, but it sounds pretty good. Anyway. But yeah, I got some samples from Bubba talking about the Whites for Warren idea. I have samples of that from Bubba's show that I'm going to add into the parody song like we normally do. It helps to add context and all that shit. So I'm going to do that tonight. It'll be done, and I'm sending it in to Lummy. I already gave him a warning text. So yeah, Bob Cook's up in here. What's up, Chad? I'm inside you officially. Welcome. Fat Pig's up in here. What's up, guys? I know I was a couple minutes late getting on here. We're busy as fuck. Stacy G, Lover. Michael Earl, Lover. Welcome, everyone. I think I just got a notification. Let me see if that's what I think it was. I think Alex Stein liked the stream on Twitter or something. Yeah. Thank you, Alex. If you're watching, welcome. Alex is in town right now. Alex is in Tampa, Florida. I put this in the description of the video of the stream tonight. Alex Stein is in Tampa. He's in town. And he's causing trouble. He's running amok. I guess he's got, I don't want to even, I don't want to spoil anything. I know he's working on some stuff. I'll just say that Alex Stein is in Tampa, Florida. He's working on some content. I don't want to spoil anything or, be involved if there's any shenanigans that deters him from, whatever. I just, yeah. Alex Stein is working a gimmick. He's in Tampa. He was on Bubba's show this morning for like the last half of the show. So, and he debated John Morgan a little bit. That's part of what we're playing tonight, guys. But yeah, our boy's in town. He's doing a work. He's working a shooting a work. Adam Wiley, Lover. What's up, Lover? Up in the chat. Guys, we got so much to talk about. Thomas Gilson's up in here. Johnny Z. Fucking Rainy's up in here. What's up, Rainy? Catching up to the bottom here, trying to get through it. Just so everyone knows, Thomas Gilson is a moderator on Joe the Supermarket's channel. But he's like legit Bubba Army. What are you saying? He's a bad guy? Bad guy in the woodpile? Big E's up in here. What's up, Big E? Thanks for joining us. Dark Match Gene. Alex Stein is rugged as hell. Yeah, he is. He's getting very slim and sexy. He's looking fit these days. I heard he's doing intermittent fasting. Bro, that shit really does help. Let me tell you, I know I've probably mentioned it on here DMS is jam-packed. I am. I hope I'm not repeating myself too much, but guys, the fucking intermittent fasting shit changed my life. Blood, what's up, Blood? What's up, Twin? Funny face? Skibbity. Dr. Starbird, Scott Starbird, Captain, sir. Welcome, welcome. How's it going? Your boy's in town. Your boy's in Tampa right now. You should have come down here to Tampa. We could get crazy. Jack Mahogoff's up in here. Dark Match Gene and Gene Lasker collab cheeks. Fuck yeah. That's what I like to hear. That's what kind of show we're running here. All right, so where should I let me bring this up. Yeah, guys, this the new parody is the lyrics I think they turned out pretty good. Bubba should like it. He really should. And I might, if I wish I had time tomorrow. I don't know, man. My schedules in the morning are my mornings are tight these days. I never have time to call into the show anymore, but I want to. I want to talk to the Sponge. But yeah, I want him to at least, I know the Shannon Sharp song wasn't my best work, but I think the Lummy song that I sent in was really funny. And I think Bubba thought we had heat or whatever. And so I don't know. It still hasn't gotten played, but yeah, guys, the Lummy song is good. The Whites for Warren deal. I think Bubba should like it. Especially this is the Whites for Warren thing is actually a fairly good, I would say, like in terms of, when Bubba does a request for a parody song and one of the parody guys does it, me or one of the other two, it's like, when they make a request, it's kind of a toss-up. When you're like requesting something and it's not like an idea I came up with that I've kind of like before anyone's aware that anything's in the works, it's like I've already got it kind of figured out and I know that I can work with whatever song. But when it's a request, sometimes it's like, like you requested it, so it can be a little bit not as good. It could be a little shitty because you requested it, but this one's actually, I think, really good. Especially considering it was a request. The quality's good. The vocals are fucking good. All right, let me bring you guys to this tab with me. God damn it, which date that's today? Yeah, this is today. Okay. So yeah, I got super busy at work and I missed the majority of this interaction. But I saw John Morgan called into the Bubba the Love Sponge show this morning.
Having your own personal shopper and nutritionist.
Bigger deal. And Alex Stein was in studio when John Morgan called in. I'll just go right from when Alex gets on. Or no, that's long. Ooh, that's really long form. Okay, hold on. Let's see, where can we all right, we'll start it here, see where it goes.
Hi.
Hey, Krista.
This is right when he gets here, right? I think.
9 or 9:30.
9:20.
9:20. Okay, I'll leave it open.
I'm gonna break at
Lil Gipper. What's up, family? Are you new around here? Thanks for joining the stream. What's up? How's it going?
probably 14 or 15.
Okay. He's coming in studio?
No.
Oh.
Zoom.
Nice. Good show, Bubba.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you.
Guys, I cleaned my bowl, by the way. It's a tobacco pipe, wink, wink. I cleaned my pipe. Dude, this thing was completely fucking black. It was like, this was, it was pretty ridiculous, man. It was embarrassing. You could not take a hit out of this thing anymore. And it took me like three like good day-long soakings in the rubbing alcohol and some salt and shaking it around a bunch. And then the morning I'd change it, empty it out, put new alcohol and salt, and man, it was just like, this shit in here was just relentless. Did not want to come out.
I'm gonna have I think Dion on this week.
What?
Yeah, Tony Stewart, Dion, both are gonna be within the next 10 days.
Okay, Stein's in here now. Here we go. Resin is the best part. You son of a bitch. Thomas Gilson. Bro, I used to smoke the shit out of some resin. Bro, I used to go crazy smoking the fucking resin. I thought it was like a waste if you didn't smoke the fucking resin. Like I was such a disgusting pothead back in the day. I have standards now. I'm not going to smoke resin out of a foil pipe. I used to actually do that. So no, resin is fucking disgusting. I don't smoke that shit anymore, but I definitely used to. If you look, it'll get you high. But if you not only want to get a weed high, but you also want a headache, resin is the way to go. I'll give you that.
Broadcasting live from the Aquabeto studios.
Aquabeto.com/Bubba.
It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Alex Stein and Stephen Diaco for a nice little change.
This is a real change-up, Bubba. I mean, talk about Steve's kind of wild card. I'm a wild card. This is the wild card Monday, I would say.
It very much is. And I think that you are already saying that you potentially might be part of Wednesday's show.
Yes, I will for sure. Yes. Tuesday, no, but Wednesday, yes, I will.
Tuesday, no. Wednesday, yes.
Yes.
And the Diaco family is big fans of Alex. This is a thrill to be here with them.
Oh, and the
Kill
Diacos.
it.
No, and I just want to say that one of the greatest NFL experiences I ever got to have, and I'm so thankful, and I know it is tough losing a parent because I know I've gone through that, but your dad and the experience, though, Steve, going to that football game, Bubba, that was probably the most fun I've ever had at a football game. And then the Warren Sapp.
Yeah, I remember Warren.
That was a good one.
And then one of the hockey players was going to beat him up. And then,
it was so good.
And then Sapp was treating Elder like crap, not knowing that Elder owns half the box. and thinking that Elder was just some hanger-oner. And then Elder goes to Pat Maroon and says, there was going to be some throwdown. If Sapp didn't leave when he did, there was going to be some, Pat Maroon's a bad mother effer.
Yeah, he was a pro hockey player. I mean, it was memorable.
Like Warren, if Warren could just treat everybody like the way he treated Daddy Joe, because he always walked up.
Scott Starboard's up in the chat. Scott, did you see this whole segment on the show this morning? Because I missed about 75% of when Stein was on. That's when I'm getting busy.
Paid his respects, kept his mouth shut, and Daddy Joe never had an issue with Warren Sapp, ever. But one time
when he was not nice to me, Dad lit him up.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, at the facility or in the box?
It was at the facility, and this is when Dad was still the team doctor.
Right.
He had just gotten that huge contract. And I was at Malio's with an African-American partner of mine. I was doing the boxing. And I said, Henry, give me a second. I want to go over.
I remember Henry.
Congratulate Warren Sapp. And I go over there and I said, and I always did this with the athletes. I would say, hey, I'm Dr. Diaco's son. I'm Steven Diaco. I'd met him 10 times. And I said, I just want to.
You got to put that part in there.
Yeah, just to make sure, I'm not some jabip coming up for an autograph. And I put my hand out to shake his hand and to congratulate him. I said, congratulations on your new deal. And he goes, what, you can't see I'm eating? And there's no food on the table. I'm like, he doesn't take my hand.
Yeah, of course not.
I'm like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I just wanted to congratulate. Can't you see I'm eating? And I'm like, okay, got it.
See you later.
And so I went back and told my pops, and not to tell him, I was just like shocked. I was like, I couldn't believe how he treated me. And the next time I saw Sapp, he was hugging, kissing. Because Dad always gave him the heads up when it was pee time.
Yes.
He took care of him on everything. He's like, how dare you SOB? You're not going to do that to my kids. And then he was a gentleman ever until that game.
Dad died.
And we haven't seen him since.
That's the average Warren Sapp experience
the
for
last
people
time
here.
we saw him was when you saw him.
But see, there's something though, Steve, and I don't know if Bubba will agree with this, but there's something about those players in that era, because I remember like trying to chase down Emmitt Smith for an autograph at the State Fair, Texas. He said no. And Michael Jordan, there's like countless stories where he wouldn't sign stuff. So it's like, I don't know, it's something about like the early 2000s, the late 90s.
I think back then,
athletes, it was like a bigger deal.
You couldn't record them saying no. Now you got a phone, you can whip out them being an asshole, and there's documentation of it, and that could potentially hurt. So now they don't act as.
Scott, you said Adam made the John Morgan thing a segment one for the history books. Yeah. Oh, Tina's up in here. What's up, Tina? Bub Army Mom. Welcome.
As rude as they used to, but when there was.
Why the fuck did this what the fuck? What just happened? Because I sped it up. It's taking a shit. What the fuck is wrong with my goddamn internet service?
No way to document their
what
rudeness.
Is this?
They were a lot of big time stars were more.
What the fuck is this? It's like the video's censored. I feel like I'm watching Japanese porn or something, and they've got them censored.
Likely to say no back then when you couldn't record it.
Jesus Christ, thank you.
But we never.
All right, so the next segment. It looks like they burn a break and come back, right? So let's get to the break.
Wireless's mother's birthday. It was her 37th birthday. Shout out, Brandy Wallace.
And
shout out Paige's mother. Happy birthday, right? This was today, right? Yeah, happy birthday.
Also, Glowbug Zach, 25 for Alex Stein's appearance.
Oh, thank you.
So
Glowbug.
We'll have John Morgan next. Stand by.
All right, here we go. It's coming up, guys.
If you liked that segment, then you'll definitely like the new redesigned BubbaArmyHQ.com. We'll be back to the Bubba the Love Sponge show after this.
That's funny.
John seemed like a down-to-earth dude. No, John Morgan does. He seems pretty cool. Remember, guys, we played his debate with that. Guys, remember? Holy fuck, guys. I'll skip through the commercial, but do you guys remember Do you guys remember the debate that we covered when John Morgan debated that doctor? And I was making jokes about her being a fake doctor. And then it turned out she was a fake doctor, like Dr. Jill Stein type of doctor, not a medical doctor, definitely pretending they're a fucking doctor. And the fucking lady, guys, remember that debate? That was wild. That was wild. A fake doctor tried to debate John Morgan about weed. And then she goes, no, because I have a doctorate in whatever the fuck. So do you, Mr. Morgan. And he's like, yeah, and I don't call myself Dr. John Morgan Esquire, you stupid bitch. Oh my God. That was a fun one. I can remember.
On November 13th. He was here with her this weekend. I'm at the beach right now.
Wait, hold on. John Morgan. Okay, hold on. Let's he gets some okay.
I'm gonna tell John.
I think it would have been worth it. And I actually love Dak Prescott, but it would be nice if push Dak even more. And Dion would be at the games. I mean, listen, I love the Cowboys. The Cowboys are not going to win a Super Bowl.
Don't be like that, Stein.
We can't because we do not know how to manage.
3 minutes, 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
It's all about paying the running backs and wide receivers.
I got a lot of good questions for you.
All right.
Gov. I'm gonna start calling you Gov. You know damn well if you run, you know if you run, you're gonna win. You know you are.
Never had the league's leading rusher.
Well, only if you're about
No, keep me right out of it. Make me be like in charge of some crosstown expressway or something like that. I don't either. There's some kind of bullshit you can give me.
We'll put you in charge of.
Did you get my ring? Did you get my ring?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
How's Demo Swags doing?
Demo Swags getting married.
What?
Yeah, we thought he was gay, but it turns out no.
I bet
that's his son. That's his son. I think they're talking about, right? Demo Swags is what Bubba calls one of his sons, right? That's funny.
We're off the air. I bet you she's hot as hell. You know how Demo is.
Well, he's very shallow.
Yeah, very shallow.
So yes, she's hot as hell.
Hot as hell. What type of prenup is he got? I got an unbelievable prenup, John, that my wife only made $1,000 for every month we were married.
Well,
does Bubba think that they can't hear them right now? He said we're off the air.
He does have a prenup.
Dude, oh my God. Well, there's nothing crazy coming out right here or anything, but this was, I think this was a mistake because listen, the hot mic is shut off. You can't hear anybody else in the studio. But Bubba's mic and the feed from the Zoom call, all of that is live.
They all do. And if they don't have one, they
Look,
don't.
Alex Stein is talking. You can't hear. Bubba thinks, I think this was a little bit of a mess up here. So we're getting truly unfiltered John Morgan here, joking about his son being gay, which is funny. I mean, that's not bad. That's good. He is down to earth.
Don't take under the will. That's kind of the deal. So I get to be the bad guy.
Well, yeah, I mean, kind of, but
Well, they're like, hey, Dad's not going to help if we don't do this, and I know
Dad's the seed. Dad's the original seed, so we got to take care of the seed.
Yeah, so they are. He's got it done. He's going to get married in Maui on November 13th. He was here with her this weekend. I'm at the beach right now. I'm over in Ponce Inlet.
So now, usually you're in Hawaii till about March, aren't you?
Maybe send a text. DMS, what do you mean? I saw that. I was curious about that as well. I caught that too. What, the hot mic deal? With this deal, what's going on? Well, I mean, there's no you saying send a text to somebody about editing this out. This isn't even dirt or anything. It's just maybe I should. Well, number one, I don't have Bubba's number, which is probably smart on their part, but I have Merch Crick's number and Lummy's number. I guess I could maybe shoot Lummy a text, but this isn't even anything spicy. This is just like he joked about that his son's finally getting married, so now they know he's not gay, that's a pop right there. That's funny.
April.
I know that you got it strategized so that you're there for as long as you can be and still be a Florida resident.
Correct. No, just read my lips. No new taxes. Because when you live in Hawaii, you pay. If you live there for 6 months or more, you pay California type taxes.
But not when you're in Florida. You pay none.
I live here.
Now, but don't you got a place in Vermont though? You go to?
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire. I feel like that's been the redheaded stepchild. You haven't been doing a lot of time up there.
Well, the person who loves it is my wife. That's
right.
A childhood deal. So she bought it. She loves it. I think it's probably her happiest place on the earth. And so we go, but she goes and stays.
All right, here we go.
Broadcasting live from the Aquabito Studios, aquabito.com/Bubba. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
There he is on time. Probably the most, I'm just going to start calling him Gov, because here's the deal. He's playing with everybody, because if he really, really wants to run for governor, he'll win. And I mean, John, I don't know if you have that type of swag, inner swag, but I've been your friend. My God, you've been on my show so many times that we have like our own little here. We have one of these.
Everything he does is for the people.
He's actually really cool.
He's a big slinging D lawyer and got medical marijuana on the ballot in Florida.
You said a smidge of pot.
It's superstar attorney John Morgan.
See, just when you were a superstar attorney, I've been having you on for so long. So I was listening to this podcast. These everybody's now coming and getting on the John Morgan.
Guys, fucking Facebook fucked me over. God damn you, Facebook. I just got it up. I'm live on Facebook now, you fucking scumbags. God damn, bro. Dude, Facebook fucked me over.
Tip, because you might be the next governor.
I've clicked around here and there trying to connect through Facebook. I forgot how to. Once it denies my stream, one of the destinations gets denied. I have to edit it afterward, and I forgot what I had to do that. And it took me a couple times, and then it didn't work the first time. We just got live on Facebook 40 minutes into the fucking 30 some minutes into the show. Thank you, Facebook.
But man, I've been John, back when we used to have fun, when you would say things like
farts and sex is funny. It made Howard Stern.
It did, and then I remember one day I was on one, and
guys, I gotta hit my bowl. Facebook just rammed it up my backside with no lube for 30 minutes of this show. Holy shit! Oh.
And you're like,
you're keyed up.
So
you're keyed up. So you say he says keyed up, right?
Bim, bud.
Well, you stay keyed up.
Yeah, well, you got to stay keyed up. You know,
you're still keyed up.
Yeah, I mean that's part of the game.
I'm late going live on Facebook because this shit wasn't working. Please, wherever you're at, guys, could you please hit the goddamn like button? I hate to have to ask, but it really does fucking help me, and I need the help. God knows. Any out of all the streams on YouTube, Facebook, wherever, this one needs the help.
I'm staying keyed up. You know,
you have that. I used to look at an ad on TV for restless leg syndrome.
I do have that.
I would think I don't even know it, but because you're keyed up. And people that are keyed up, have restless leg syndrome.
So I have a couple.
Bro, Bubba, I don't know. So I know a lot of people that may or may not watch this stream. You're familiar with Bubba the Love Sponge. Oh, Grando Reaper, what's up, Family? 8647, what's up, bro? That's funny. Holyoke Joe's up in here. What's up, dude? I was amazed by Bubba and Stein on the after show. I wonder if DMS will play that too. On the after show? God damn it. I didn't even know about that. What did what happened on the after show, Holyoke Joe? Give us a rundown in the chat. Maybe I'll get to that, even though I didn't want to stay on late.
Questions that have come from listeners, one of which were you, Seth. What was the ownership group in Orlando that was trying to take the race?
Oh my, no, it was what was it? Hold on, it was Orlando Dreamers.
The Dreamers. Were you part of the Dreamers?
I am part of the Dreamers now. I was approached by Pat Williams, who brought the Magic to Orlando. I listened to him, but it's got to leave Tampa Bay. But Barry Larkin, I don't know if you know Barry.
Yeah.
Barry, great baseball.
John Morgan is a DACA dreamer.
Player, Hall of Famer. He and a group have put it together, and I committed to quite a bit of money to be part of that ownership group, if and only if they move to Orlando.
What I was gonna say was wrestling. Thank you for the reminder, fucking Grando Reaper. Diabetes can cause restless leg. Thanks for the reminder. I was gonna say restless leg with Bubba. It's so funny, and I have that too. It's normally like these days I don't really have it. When I go to bed at night, like I used to kick my legs when I would go to lay down. And I think that's an issue with like blood pressure or something. That's not really a problem these days, even though I used to have that really bad. But I think the psychedelics has helped that, and probably the change in my diet and stuff. I've had so many good physiological changes through the positive positive intentions with my changes in diet and stuff, even though I don't always make the right decision with certain new things to introduce into my system. And we've talked about that, but there's so many different things that like neurotic type shit, like the restless leg stuff. And I told you guys, I used to pick at my lips, and I see a lot of people doing this, and I can tell. Just even if they're not doing it, I can normally look at people's lips and I can just tell, like, oh, this motherfucker bites their lips just like I used to. Guys, I like this. I forget how long ago it was, but recently I quit doing that too. The biting my fucking lips and picking at them with my fingernails too when I'd be like anxious and whatever. But anyway, bro, the restless leg shit, Bubba, when especially when I'm there. Well, I haven't been in the studio for a regular show. But when I've been there for 199, that is one thing that's pretty funny is it's not every single time I've gone to 199. Bubba's, for those that don't know, Bubba the Love Sponge, he does his normal. This is the clip that we're playing here is from his morning show. And once in a while, like every few months, they do something called Bubba 199, which is where he goes live on like Twitch and Rumble, wherever the fuck he can go, that he won't get the copyright infringements for playing music. And he plays like a mix of music, and people like send money to the show, partly to qualify to make it to this party at the end of the year. Anyway, so Bubba's playing all this music, and there's to listen, it's still in studio, and they've got the mics are hot. So they have to play the music through headphones if you want to actually listen to it in studio, live when it's happening. So if you don't have headphones or if you take them off, it's funny because you're sitting there and it's like you can hear noise of people just kind of like just making whatever noises, but it's funny because there's no music and you can't hear people talk when they talk into the mic. You can't hear them as well. So, but then one thing that you'll notice if you take the headphones off, or sometimes I've just sat there without them, just hanging out, and you can hear with whatever song is playing, you can just hear Bubba's leg. You sit down, you're on the couch, or you're sitting down in the floor area. You just you hear the faint music from other people's headphones. You can barely hear it. And then you can hear Bubba's leg just going like this. It's fucking hilarious. Me and Mitch the Mark, whenever I'm there with him, we both fucking crack up at Bubba's leg stomping. Truth Revealed's up in here. What's up, family? It's all the Jesus Christ, dude. Look. I won't judge about what other people do with their wives, okay? I don't even have a wife. I'll never have a wife or children. I'm going to die alone. I'm going to be on my deathbed begging my nurse to bring me my collection of dildos so that I can pleasure myself. That's pathetic.
Plus, for Orlando, the reason for me about it is I think it's a tremendous business opportunity. I think the team is undervalued because of where it is. You know, Tampa, it's never coming back to St. Pete. So just everybody needs to know that.
Yep.
If Tampa can figure out a place, that's okay. I don't want to do that because Orlando has 80 million visitors a year. The Orlando Magic are one of the top attended teams in the country, even though they're probably the sorriest over the last 20 years because of tourists. Tourists come and there's packages put together with Disney, Universal, SeaWorld, and baseball or basketball. So that's the lure for me. And somebody told me, we were talking to one of the owners the other day, and they said, you just need to understand this, John. If you put this kind of money in, you're probably not going to make any money. It's for your grandchildren, because the way you make money in sports is not operating a team, but the team going up in value. So, and that takes time. So I've decided to throw in with this group. I've put up consider about a pledge money.
Isn't the problem in itself, Stu Stuenberg? He is just absolutely. I'm not trying to cause no problems, and I know you're trying to buy the team from him, but the problem is him. He's the problem.
Well, he's the man. Just remember this one, if you've never heard it. He who has the gold makes the rules.
Right.
Stu has the gold. And he bought the team for less than $300 million. He could sell it for 1.2 or more, but it's his to sell. It's his decision to make, and I certainly respect that as a business person. He's a problem, but was he a problem when he brought it to St. Pete? No, he was the savior when he brought it.
Yeah, but like I.
So what the heat comes up? I do remember from this morning, and I couldn't watch the whole thing. But I remember from this morning, the whole time, Alex Stein kind of sits here respectfully. You know, this is Bubba's friend. This is Bubba's, it's a high-profile friend of Bubba's that is doing a Zoom call into the show. And Alex Stein is sitting there respectful, like, yeah, this guy, he's one of the biggest. And I didn't even know this until Bubba, had John Morgan on the show and talked to him about it. But John Morgan is like had been one of the biggest donors to the Democratic Party. He's a big time, high profile Democrat monetary supporter. And Alex Stein, we know, is our MAGA pimp on a blimp. So he's sitting here respectfully the whole time. Like, all right, I'll let Bubba do his thing. But then I guess the Clintons get brought up, and that's when shit hits the fan. So we are, don't worry, guys. It's going somewhere. If you haven't watched this yet, this is going somewhere.
Saw a thing where if you draw a 50-mile radius around each ballpark in the Major League Baseball, 68% of that radius, if you draw it around Tropicana field is water. So geographically, you're never going to draw for where you are. Now, could you ever see a scenario where Stu would maybe get in bed with you guys to relocate to Orlando and still stay a partner, or is he?
I'd be fine with that. I'd be fine with that.
I think John Morgan is on edibles right now. Bro, he looks like me when I take edibles.
For me, it's simply an investment, but it's only
those eyelids look heavy as fuck right now. I can't lie.
Listen, the Oakland A's are moving for a reason. They're in a shit place. But where are they moving to? Las Vegas. What does Las Vegas has?
Tourism.
40 million. But Orlando has twice as many. That's the real rub. Why did the Raiders move to Las Vegas? Tourists, people, action. And so
turn insights into action with AI that gets your business.
I wonder where my best leads come from.
Guys, do not use this company, Honeybook, for anything. They've been interrupting our stream, okay? They've been interrupting our stream every freaking night for the past couple weeks. I'm fucking sick of it. Honeybook, fuck off. I do anti-ads. Every time we get an ad, I do an anti-ad. I tell you how shitty the company is. I'm telling you why you shouldn't use it. Honeybook sounds stupid as fuck, guys. There's probably something better out there, okay? They just can't afford to throw money at YouTube to play their stupid ads, to interrupt people's streams, and we thank them for that. Go find a different company. Go find out what Honeybook does, and go find a different company to use.
It's his call to make, and he'll make it. And it probably, when you're in a business for a long time and it just becomes a grind, it's like, you know what? Let me take my billion profit and go.
People don't realize John Morgan is a sportsman. I've been around John a long time, back in the Antonio Tarver days. And so not only is he about community pride and bringing it home to Orlando, and it's true, he probably won't make a lot of money in his lifetime on it, but he's been around sports and understands promotion and the industry. And it would be really good for Major League Baseball to have someone like John Morgan at the helm.
Speaking of which,
I represent a lot of baseball players now, so
right on.
The day I came over and saw you when we were, when you got Bill Clinton on the phone with me, you had.
I put the two Bubbas together.
Uh-oh, guys, the wheels are turning now. Look at him. Alex Stein is thinking in his head. He's like, "Wow, John Morgan's probably, cut the face off of a little kid with the Clintons. He's really close with them. He's probably had a couple sips of that baby blood, that adrenalized blood, the good stuff. It's probably part of the Red Shoe Club. It's a small club, guys, or it's a big club, and you're not in it. I forget what the quote is.
Yeah, you did. I mean, that today, I tell that story to more people saying I've actually spoke to Bill Clinton and he called me a rascal, and we were trying to do a deal. John Morgan put it all together. And but I actually, got an opportunity to say hi to Bill Clinton through John Morgan. It was so surreal to talk to him that day, and it was unbelievable.
And we were eating.
John Morgan, did you go to that island? You better have not gone to that island. You better stay off that island. Not Hawaii. You know which island we're talking about. I voted for Trump, not Biden. Why the fuck would you go to that island?
Tacos on the street.
Eating tacos on the street. And so Bill calls and John goes, hey, Bill, Mr. President, can we call you back in 10 minutes? It's like, oh, yeah, call me back in 10 minutes. So we had sent an email to Mr. President for him to look at. That's all we're going to say. And once we got back in John's office, Mr. President was allowed to pontificate on one set of email. And he liked what he saw, we can say, nonetheless.
Very much.
Now, do you still stay close with Mr. President?
I sure do. He's in Asia right now with another friend of mine, Chris Corge, and he wanted to have dinner in Florida, but I was in Hawaii. So look, he's one of the great presidents of all time. He's great because Republicans hate everybody except for Bill Clinton.
Oh yeah, but here's the bad thing, and
guys, it's funny because I get what John Morgan's trying to say. Like, even if you're totally like conspiracy ignorant, I get what he's saying. Like, people see Bill Clinton as kind of having had swagger. And, there's a lot of people that see him like that. But today's Republican Party, I just feel like everybody is like completely drinking the Clinton Kool-Aid. Like believing that them two are just up to no good. I feel like that's not even a controversial take. There's Democrats that don't even trust the Clintons, right? I think John Morgan is completely off base here. I don't know. I think that's bullshit. I think you could have said that about the Clintons. This is really being fair. That is 100% true. If you're talking about the Clintons back in 2015, before anybody knew about the stories about pizza. I'll say that. I'll just say that. Well, we're gonna move on here.
We talked about it. I had you on a little bit ago when it was a real crap storm with regards to the Democratic Party and Kamala being announced and things like that. The party is so far removed from what Bill did and what he thought and how he governed, and the party is not how Bill left it. No, it's so broken.
Well, he left a balanced budget. He left no deficit. I mean, it was 8 years of peace and prosperity.
No wars.
No wars. And look, the guy's a very, very, very smart guy.
Are we talking about Bill Clinton right now?
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh, fuck. Dude, this is so funny. Wait, were we talking about Bill Clinton right now? Alex has been sitting there respectfully, just keeping his mouth shut. And he's like, you know what? If they just say, if we move on from this Clinton stuff, I don't have to say anything. But once it became a fucking a Bill Clinton suck off contest, Alex Stein's like, I have to step in here. I can't let this just go on. I'm officially a co-host of this show. There's no way I'm just gonna let this slide.
Yeah. The guy that was on the Lolita Express 26 times, that smart guy? Best friend of Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh my God. What a fucking legend, Alex. Dude, what a fucking legend. I could never do this. Bubba would have if they ever made the mistake of letting me come in that studio for the actual morning show, the main show, and he had John Morgan on, and I said something about the Lolita Express, that would be the last thing I spoke into any one of those fucking microphones. Oh, fuck.
Stein?
It doesn't make him a bad person.
Hang out with a pedophile?
Oh, God. Holy shit, dude. This is so epic.
Well, nobody knew he was a pedophile.
I think somebody knew he was a pedophile. I think people knew he was a pedophile.
Oh fuck. Yeah. I think Bubba just gave Alex Stein the signal. I'm gonna blow this up and rewind for I think oh God. I think Alex just got the signal from the Sponge. Watch Sponge put his hand up. Alex right now is sitting in Lummy's microphone, which is against the wall. This wall right here is the same wall right here, but they're like across from each other, and Bubba's raised up a couple feet. So this is Bubba's hand is gonna be in sight of Alex but I don't think Alex is gonna notice it. Let's watch and see if I'm right. I think Bubba gave a little signal to shut the fuck up.
So we had sent an email to Mr. President for him to look at. That's all we're going to say. And
I backed it up too far. 32-16.
He wanted to have dinner in Florida, but I was in Hawaii. So,
God damn, I fucked it up.
It was 8 years of peace and prosperity.
No wars.
No wars.
Okay, here we go. Watch for the hand signal.
And look, the guy's a very, very, very smart guy.
Are we talking about Bill Clinton right now?
Yeah.
The guy that was on the Lolita Express 26 times? That smart guy? Best friend of Jeffrey Epstein?
It doesn't make him a bad person.
Hang out with a pedophile?
Well, nobody knew he was a pedophile.
Oh fuck, man! He's getting the hand signal, man. Oh fuck! See, this is what I told you. I have not seen this from today, but I knew this is like, yeah, man. It's, you know what? It's funny and it's epic for him to have brought it up and not be afraid to bring that up. But it is kind of, I can see where this is getting heat a little bit. And I don't blame Bubba for not being cool with it because, anyway.
I think somebody knew he was a pedophile. I think people knew he was a pedophile. Donald Trump kicked him out of his country club because he was a pedophile.
Kicked who out of his country club?
Epstein.
Oh.
So I'm saying Bill Clinton knew that Epstein was a bad guy.
I don't think so at that time. Now, remember, there's pictures of Donald Trump with Epstein, and I don't think Donald Trump knew it either.
Yeah, but I don't think Donald Trump was on there 26 times. And then I don't think Donald Trump was in the White House having sex with Monica Lewinsky.
Donald Trump has, are you talking about sex with Monica Lewinsky is disqualifying now?
Yeah, I would say that would be a bad, that would be an indication that he's a low moral character guy. And that if you would have sex and cheat on your wife in the White House, that you might have sex with a child on an airplane. Yeah, I think you could connect those.
By the way,
oh dear God, it's getting uncomfortable. Fuck, man.
John, just to give you
is it cheating on the wife that's your problem, or is it in the White House that's your problem?
I would say both are pretty bad. Wouldn't you say that? I mean, do you? Is it okay to have sex at work? I mean, at Morgan & Morgan, were you just blasting on your desk, or would you say that was unprofessional?
Oh Jesus!
I would say
matters what era we're talking.
No, I mean, John, I'm saying, would that be professional if you're on your desk at Morgan & Morgan with your secretary? Would that be professional, or would that be considered unprofessional in your professional opinion?
Well, I don't think it would be proper ever, but I think a lot of people make mistakes.
Damn, Alex, come on, ease up off the gas there. Damn, buddy, you're getting heat, fam.
Thanks. I think our current president liked to fuck on his desk too, but that's his sin. That's a totally different deal. I mean, are we upset about what Donald Trump did? Evidently not.
Well, I think it's a little different. I don't think that he was president at the time. And Donald Trump says that he's never had sex, so we don't have any evidence that he really did that other than her story of a whore. That's
why I asked you. That's why I asked you a question. Mm-hmm. Is it your problem with it in the White House, or your problem with infidelity in general?
I would say they're both bad. I mean, they can both be bad, right?
Okay. Well, you were saying that they're both bad, but you're making.
I don't like a president that's having sex with a woman like that, because then that would have leverage on him. So that's why they go to these islands so they can film each other have sex. You're a wealthy guy. You know how this works. They're with these call girls. Next thing you know, you're having sex, and they have you on tape having sex with somebody. And then when
let's
you're
not talk about tape and sex, okay?
Saying, exactly right.
So I don't. Let's not talk about.
Are we going to have Hulk Hogan on here?
Yeah, I don't know.
Where are we going with this?
Oh, that's a good response, John Morgan. He knows how to work.
Hold on. Here's the thing.
I'll be happy to get the sex tapes out of here. And
no, let's not do that.
Well, I'm just saying we're sitting here glazing Bill Clinton. I can't do that. I had too much self-respect to sit here.
Well, then turn your microphone off. I mean, this is my guest, and By the way, that's a friend of mine, Alex Stein.
Primetime 99, Alex Stein. Hey, John, I got a question though. What about this? So I had an employee.
What does glazing mean?
That means kissing his derriere, glazing. I'm not going to sit here and do that too. But okay, so bro, real quick, John. So I had an employee. What happened was he got hit by an undocumented, this is serious, Uber Eats driver. But the Uber Eats driver on the app said that he was on a bicycle, but the Uber Eats driver is actually using a car because if you do this, you don't have to have insurance. That's why the driver told Uber Eats that he's on a bicycle. He really was in a car because if you have a car, you have to give them insurance. You have to give them a driver's license. So there's less requirements to be an Uber Eats driver if you say that you're on a bicycle. Well, he hit one of my uninsured employees, only has liability insurance. We're in a nightmare legally trying to go after Uber. He's an illegal immigrant. We don't know what to do because Uber says we're not liable. He lied to us.
Sounds like you need me.
Exactly.
Hold on.
I got a good lawsuit, John. You see what I'm trying to...
Oh, fuck. You know what? And that's true. That's true. The Uber would probably completely cave on this if they saw John Morgan's name on some fucking paperwork they got.
Hold on, Alex. And you know what? As rude as you've been to my friend, I'm not even going to let him rep you. I'm going to tell John.
John's an attorney. I'm not being rude. I'm saying he's an attorney. He's dealt with people hard.
And his advice to you was you need a sling and D like him.
Hey, listen, I'm going to represent him, but instead of a 33 and a third, I'm going to start charging 66.666.
That's Bill Clinton's favorite number, but I'll pay it.
Oh, Bill Clinton's favorite number. That's a good one, Stein.
Hey, I know we'll win with you, John.
So anyway, Alex,
we will not lose Alex. What does Alex do for a living?
He works for Glenn Beck and the Blaze.
Mm-hmm.
So that puts everything in perspective.
Yeah, it all makes sense now. Yeah. I saw what you were saying. Where was it? Rainy. Bubba texted Alex to shut the fuck up. Yeah. Dude, that's wild. That's wild. But John Morgan handled it very well. I mean, fucking... It's a sticky situation. Alex is trying to stay true to his to his deal. And this is like, he's got someone in front of him that's like openly, blatantly defending Bill Clinton's character. And it's hard to consolidate that with Alex Stein's opinion. I mean, this was kind of, whatever. This is I don't think Bubba will let this lineup happen again. Alex in the studio with John Morgan videoing in. I don't know. That's wild.
Oh, I see, said the blind man.
Now you can see a little bit. Now
you got it. And I apologize.
That's why I can't sit here and you guys talk about Bill Clinton. I don't interject.
Listen to me.
Imagine Glenn Beck sees this. I'm over here. Bill Clinton's the best president ever. Yeah,
you tell Glenn Beck that you're on my show, and I am pro.
Well,
Bill
these
Clinton.
are debate shows. I can debate. John's debated before. He's going to be governor. He's dealt with some kickback. This isn't that big a deal. I mean, come on.
No, listen. I get it now.
So exactly. Okay. So moving right along, John. I could turn Alex's mic off, but I think he'll play along as he's.
No, let him roll. He's a client of mine now.
Yes, sir, I am. We're about to be rich. I'm having a conundrum with Uber.
I want.
And by the way,
we're about to be rich.
Hey, if you need help with Uber, suing Uber or Lyft, I am your man. I know the ins and outs and where all the insurance is and the.
I would love to use you, John. You're a great guy.
Oh yeah, he's a great guy.
John Morgan's a great guy.
So John, let's just talk about what everybody's talking about. And I'm sorry for the distraction. Is that you have tentatively thrown your name into the hat for potentially running for governor in 2026 as a third party or a different party. Hell, I think you could run for, I think you could be any party you wanted. You could be a Republican, you could be a Democrat, or you could be an independent, or you could be for the people. I just wanted to kind of unpack that and, ask you, how real is that? Because be careful what you wish for, because you'll win. I mean, between you and Grady Judd are probably the two most lovable and liked persons in all of Florida.
Well, I told Grady that.
God damn, this interview goes long. Fuck, man. I was hoping they went to break and then, but no, this goes through the whole fucking end of the show.
I'd like him to be my lieutenant governor. There'll be Yin and Yang will be the name of the party.
And you know what he would tell you? He'll arrest you for weed. By the way, he would.
Yeah, he'd arrest me
for weed. He'd arrest the governor for weed. I've done some ride-alongs with Grady, and he's like, every 4 or 6 years they always ask me to run for governor, and I tell them no, I have no interest in answering to anybody else. I run Polk County the way I want to run it, and I don't want to be governor. Whereas you, I mean, really, are we really thinking about this?
We're really thinking about it in this sense. Here's the things that are pissing me off. One, most of us agree on most things. On most things. Why do I know that? Marijuana, minimum wage, restoring felons' rights, fair districts, pre-K. We agree on most things. But because of gerrymandering, the fringes on the far left and the far right have taken our country hostage. And we don't ever think about what has happened in the state of Florida that you go, up in Tallahassee, that really was good for us. And it's not. It's good for cable companies. It's good for power companies.
Insurance.
Insurance. It's the best for the insurance industry.
I mean, DeSantis has cut a deal with the devil with the DeSantis. Like, oh my God, most people don't even know how bad it is.
No. And they will. And when they're going to find out is when their home gets blown away in a hurricane. Most people go, it's never going to happen to me. But you know why it is going to happen? Look at the national news every night now. Every night on every national news, it's the weather. It's a tornado. It's a hurricane. It's flooding. And what they've done to homeowners in Florida, one day there will be a reckoning. There will be blue tarps everywhere because homeowners have lost all their power. It was given away. Every president of every university is a former politician. And everybody's so worried about what are the books in the library. I don't know what books they're worried about in the libraries, but they've got these false narratives, these false boogeymen that everybody gets scared about, and then they elect them, and then special interests get their way. So I believe that a third party is the solution, not for Florida, but for America. I believe that what's lost here is we don't compromise. If you're a politician, you say, I'm going to compromise, they want you out. They want you out.
Oh, yeah, they want you out. What is going on in the chat? Are you guys fighting with Holyoke Joe? What is going on? Joe said evil things about Buzzard Bob's daughter. You sure she didn't deserve it? You sure she's not evil? I don't know. I'm not familiar with these people. Adam Wiley, DMS says he has a funny story tonight, but I am not so sure. So it's not so much a funny story. It's a funny. Well, I mean, it's kind of is, but not really. It's just it's a weird story that's kind of funny and blew my mind. I'll get to that after we get through some of this, I guess. Maybe we'll see.
In my office in Brooklyn, I've got a sign where all my magic happens. It says, done is better than perfect. Let's just get something done. We don't have to have it all, get something done. So look, I've been hit by John McKay, the former president of the Senate Republican, Rod Smith, ran for attorney general, senator. I think a lot of us are hungry just for normalcy, compromise. When I look at politics in America and Florida, I feel like that song, remember Steelers Wheel? Clowns to
the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you.
Can you find that song? Can that be my new walk-on song?
Yeah, stuck in the middle with you.
Yeah, clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right, stuck in the middle with you. And that's where I feel. I feel like you, me. And by the way, when we pass these constitutional amendments, we pass them with 60% of the votes. And what are they trying to do in Tallahassee? They're trying to make it harder and harder and harder for us to do it. Our governor, this governor, when we were trying to pass the recreational marijuana, I don't know how Alex comes down on that, but when we were trying to pass recreational marijuana the last go-round, this governor took our money, taxpayer money, and spent $50 million in ads against it, and it missed the 60% threshold by that much.
By what, 2.5%? Something like that?
Hey, real quick, let me say one thing, though, John, because you did interject. I think marijuana is a little safe, but, Bubba, he loves abortion, though, John, and you're an attorney. Why is this? If it's not a life in the womb, why, when a drunk driver hits a pregnant woman, why is that considered a double homicide if that's not considered a life? When a pregnant woman gets killed by a drunk driver, why is that a double homicide if that's not?
Well, look, for the insurance, because the insurance industry runs the world.
Yep.
Runs the world.
So the insurance company says it's a life, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's not a life in Florida. It's not a life in Florida.
So here's
but it is a life if there's abortion. It's not a life.
No, it's the other way. You got it the other way. You're saying they say it's not a life, it's abortion. But if you get hit and killed in a drunk driving accident, then they say it is a life.
Yeah, listen, if the baby is killed in the womb 9 months out, that was not a life. But if the baby is 1 week old in the womb, that's a life.
Wait, no, in Texas, a pregnant woman gets killed, they get charged with double homicide.
It doesn't have a.
We're not talking about Texas. We're talking about.
Yeah, so John Morgan is saying it's actually is the opposite in Florida, if I'm understanding correctly, because he's talking about our abortion laws are now stricter than the laws on like a baby getting killed in the womb by some fucking freak accident or something. Right? Is that what he's getting at?
Like in Georgia, they call it's life when you ready for the wording? Quickening in the womb. As if there's a quickening in the womb, it's life.
What's that mean?
It means death in the womb.
Well, it means that there's viability. It's you'd have to dig deeper. But the point is this: the insurance industry runs the world. They have the money. They run the country. They're going around the country right now. Their whole philosophy is very simple: deny, delay, defend.
Mm-hmm.
And they know
Luigi Mangione, free him. Free my baby.
Money, and they hold money, and they get the float, and they try to starve people out. And there's nobody.
Guys, you think there's a possibility he's going to get out free? I think there's a possibility. I'm really, well, once we take our vacation, once I go out of town, take my vacation, come back, we'll see how much money I have left, and I'll consider donating to Luigi Mangione. That's one of the best of all the controversial GoFundMes. It's like either I have to donate to a black murderer who stabbed a white kid in the heart, or I have to donate to a white woman who said the N-word to a 6-year-old kid. Or we've got Luigi Mangione, who's actually trying to make changes in the world.
That stands up to them in government.
And so, I mean,
and he's drop dead sexy.
I will say this: Trump has.
Yeah, he has, and that's why Trump's awesome.
Donald Trump has. Donald Trump has called bullshit on the insurance industry. Donald Trump has called bullshit on the pharmaceutical industry, and Donald Trump has understood. People say he's not a genius. He is a genius because he has tapped in to a deep anger in America, and you're starting to see a lot of people like Josh Hawley follow his lead. DeSantis hasn't. DeSantis has taken the insurance company's money and sold us out for his own personal benefit. Donald Trump and Donald Trump Jr. were tweeting madly against it all. So give the devil his due.
So how close are you to Donald? I got to think pretty. I mean, you're
no. I'm very good friends with Matt Gaetz. I represented him years ago. Pam Bondi, as you know, we all used to party like rock stars before.
Down in the Keys.
Well, we were everywhere.
How about Roger?
Gasparilla.
Roger Stone's a good friend of yours.
Very good. I got a text from him last night. And
Roger's doing good up in his radio show in New York. I think Roger's on the rebound.
WABC.
And by the way, I'm a sponsor of that show.
As you should be.
So Roger's a character, and they're all characters.
You were supposed to sponsor mine. Listen to this.
I'll make it the Morgan & Morgan studio in the morning. That was when I was begging you to leave Russ Rollins alone.
Yeah,
remember?
And here's the deal. Me and
remember
Russ,
that.
Yes,
remember that.
You mediated that, and me and Russ now are actually really close. We keep in touch. I sent condolences out when he lost his sister, and but yeah, me and Russ are actually, and you brokered that.
Listen, you were both good guys. You were just competitors, and you got a little. It's like this. You watch these NBA games; they get tangled up under the basket. They start throwing elbows and shit. And you were competitive. You were breaking in the market, and you went for the jugular.
So can you? I mean, like.
But by the way, you know what Russ has done, which I think is crazy. He's bought a lake home in Winter Haven, and now he has to commute.
Did Bubba just miss a dump? Looked like Bubba missed a dump.
Every morning, I don't know what time you got to get up to do the morning show.
Oh, probably 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Driving from Winter Haven to Maitland. How'd you like that little deal?
Yeah, but you know what? he's probably got I think I saw his house. It's a nice lake house.
Yeah, he wants a lake. He wanted a lake
so
house.
it was kind of within what he could afford with, because listen, Clear Channel and iHeart are killing. I mean, like they're killing people on salaries right now. The layoffs, regular radio is in trouble right now. Digital streaming and, podcasting and things like that. And, shows on YouTube and Rumble and various things like we do. That's the cutting of the cord, so to speak, terrestrially. So Russ, I feel sorry for Russ and those guys are only terrestrial guys, because these terrestrial companies come in and there's no negotiation. They tell you what you're making and then they throw you a little bone, be like, okay, Russ, we'll let you, do your show on YouTube and you can have whatever that represents. They throw you a couple little bones, but radio's unhealthy right now, very unhealthy.
So is television.
Oh yeah, I mean, as much as you guys spend on media, I'm sure your whole advertising position has gone from terrestrial and cable to maybe over half, if not more, digital. I'm sure digitally, you guys. I mean, you know that more than I do.
Bro, I've been seeing John Morgan ads on a lot of other shit. One other show that I watch, not like a lot, but a fair amount, is Tim Dillon's podcast, and he's been doing John Morgan ads on there, live reads, not like what I'm saying. It's not an ad that pops up on his video. It's an ad that he actually read and they insert it into the podcast.
Streaming and listen, live events. I'm Saturday, this coming Saturday. If you want to come, guess who's coming to Tampa for WWE? Demo Swag. If you want to be his guest, you need to tell him to take you with him, because Morgan, we're putting Morgan in the center rings. And
we've seen it.
Yeah, well, we're coming to Tampa Friday or Saturday, and Demo Swag's coming with his fiance. So you need to tell him to bring.
Yeah, how many times he used to call me up on a Saturday night looking for free bottle service at one of my clubs? I mean a lot. So John, I mean, like, when will you make we've been skirting all around it. Like, is there going to be a definitive date where you say yay or nay, or are you just going to keep screwing with people?
I'm not going to say yay or nay. What I'm going to do is this: I've formed the party. I got to have 4 people sign up to be in it. Then I'll be official. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch the lay of the land. I'm going to watch who the Democrats have. I'm going to watch who the Republicans have. It's going to be like watching a horse race, but it's before I make my bet. I'm going to get to watch them break from the gate. I'm going to get to watch them go around the back stretch. I'm going to get to come around the corner. And when they start to come down that back stretch, I'm going to see who's who, what's what. And then at that moment, and I believe, maybe wrongly or rightly, I believe I'm one of the only people that uniquely could do this, is to jump in for the sprint. I'm not a marathon guy.
So you're saying maybe jump in like maybe February?
Yeah, February. Watch what's happening.
What the hell? Is he like saying he's leaving the possibility that he might not run if the other candidates are too good or something? Bro, John Morgan could totally get elected. That just sounds like easy work for him. In Florida, I feel like everybody fucking likes him. Everyone except for maybe the big insurance companies and stuff that he talks shit about. But your average person fucking likes John Morgan, I think.
I mean, there may be somebody that comes and I go, you know what? I could live with this. I could be with this.
Oh, but it's not what's been positioned so.
Oh, he just said it. There you go. He is leaving himself the possibility of, if there's a really good candidate, he would just support them and not run, because they seem like they could win, I guess.
Far Casey DeSantis. Who else is out there?
Byron Donalds.
Byron Donalds, and this now David Jolly has decided to be a Democrat, and he's moved from the Republican Party to. But the real.
But none of them. Hold on, none of them are John Morgan. Period.
Well, right. That's good and bad. Listen, I have enemies. The tobacco people do not. I've sued the tobacco industry forever. I've sued pharmaceutical people forever. So if you have big enemies, you can have big problems. Yeah,
but you got there's one thing you also got big. Money.
Well, I got some.
And you are an icon in Florida, John. People love you in Florida. Everybody's got enemies, but the vast majority of Floridians love you. You've done great things on both sides. You've been pretty independent. You call balls and strikes as you see them. And so,
you were the first guy to go on my show to say that, hey, I'm out. Democrat Party, you guys throw Kamala in there, I'm out. You guys didn't give me a primary. I wanted a primary. You didn't give me that. You threw up Joe. He probably had prostate cancer back then, and you got full hot on the deal. The Democratic Party freaked out when you said, I'm out.
Well, listen. Joe, the book has not been written on what was so with Joe. I mean, we don't know, but we know he was not up for this. We know that.
Right.
But what he did was, I think, he threw a shit fit when he got pushed out, and then he said, F you. Here's Kamala. You don't like me? How do you like this?
Yep.
That was this to them. That was this to. Guess who didn't want her? Nancy Pelosi. Guess who didn't want her?
Barack Obama.
Guess who didn't want her? Your friend John Morgan. Because it was. Listen, there are certain people
that are fingernails down a chalkboard. Okay. Anthony Weiner is fingernails down a chalkboard. Ted Cruz, who I saw at the Derby, fingernails down the, you look at Anthony Weiner and Ted Cruz and that's the kid in high school you just wanted to beat the shit out of. But Kamala Harris is that person, this fingernails, the laugh, the talk, the fake accents.
Dude, I want to vote for John Morgan just hearing him say this. This is somebody who has invested so much money in the Democratic Party. For him to be honestly calling it like this is exactly how I feel about her. I just I could tolerate World War III with Trump and Trump's delivery. I would tolerate that better than 4 years of peace with Kamala Harris and her fucking fake laugh and being on pills or drunk or whatever problem she's got going on. I just this is refreshing hearing him say this. There are other guys, this is the truth coming out. There are Democrats that think this about her and they pretended it was okay. But you all were fucking annoyed by her too.
The fake resume, you're like, and that's going to be it was like, I'm out.
Now, John, in the circles that you travel in, Bill, Barack, were they full hot on that deal the way that Joe did? I mean, were they not cool with it?
Well, the Clintons jumped on because she got them early, and they knew it was inevitable because where are they going to go? But Barack definitely didn't want her. Barack didn't endorse her for 5 days. Pelosi was livid about it, and I talked to her. I texted with her the other day. She was on the way to meet the Pope and to have that first mass yesterday. But they were all against it. It was an inside deal. It was a deal by Joe Biden to say F you to all you who push me out. And the truth is, now we all know he never should have been allowed to run. It was a mess. We were all relying on the inner circle and, quite frankly, his wife, Jill Biden. I used to say to my wife, who will be 43 years this week.
Uma runs the show. I love her.
Yes. So Kill Bill. So I said, this woman is not going to win ever. And that was but it was Joe Biden. But I always thought that Jill Biden, the wife, I mean, if somebody's going to know you're on the decline, it's going to be your wife. They see it all.
Yeah.
We see it all. Ultimate season when I forget a number. What's that guy's phone number? What's Bubba's phone number? Oh, 6969. Okay. But I forget numbers sometimes now. But who sees it? My wife.
Right.
They live with us. Jill Biden saw it all. And I think she just liked the gig so much.
She was so enamored with the power and the title that she kept Joe in there too long.
Okay, wait, time out. Now we're going to throw Jill Biden under the bus. She's probably the only person that kept his and I'm conservative. Probably kept his presidency together. I think she deserves credit, if anything.
Well, she does. She kept it together, but she also knew that he shouldn't run. I mean, was she going to run the country?
He didn't run though, right? He stepped down. So I'm confused.
That wasn't her. She's mad that he stepped down.
Yeah, she was, but I mean, technically, he was forced to step down.
Final thoughts on. Does P. Diddy get off this deal? I mean, I know that you've been monitoring it. To me, it looks like I don't know if they've put together a case that's strong enough to. I mean, it's very sensational. There's a lot of sensationalism there. But I mean,
guys, remember when we started covering the Diddy stuff on here, I was just like, I don't like how when we read through the fucking indictment, I was worried, guys. I was reading through it and I was like, look. The red flags that should be going off for everybody, the alarms, when you hear all the fucking rumors that there are about Diddy, all the fucking stories you hear from the guards and everybody else, there's all these fucking stories that stay in the same theme. He's got it just within the indictment. You forget rumors and whatever, but just within the indictment, a pattern of abusive behavior, just across the board, abusive behavior, and wielding his power in a merciless fashion, to put it mildly. So, and then the fucking weird interactions with him and Bieber. guys, that video, there's like nothing more weird and cringe in a weird fucking creepy type of way. Nothing worse than that fucking Diddy video of him saying he has ownership of Justin Bieber, of Bieber's tight little hole. That was just like, you know, all we had in the indictment and what he's getting charged with now. I just didn't like the fact that it's so, it's just so like uninteresting almost, because I just like, dude, I can't get past the fact that there has to be 10 times worse shit going on. The weird fucking drugs he was into and stuff, having people connected to IVs to recover from like 3 days worth of just getting plowed by male hookers, and just I don't know, man. I wouldn't be surprised if somehow fucking Diddy got out of this. I really wouldn't. The stuff in the indictment is just not even spicy enough. I know that that's just like not even scratching the surface of what he did. And I said this before about it. Is this a weird fucking thing where Diddy gets charges thrown at him and he gets churned through the system a little bit, but then ends up coming out maybe not completely unscathed, but he doesn't go to prison for a long term. You know, I compared it to the Cosby shit. They let a whole fucking trial happen. You remember the fucking witnesses and victims coming out of the Cosby trial, and he was found guilty, and they came out crying, and it was this big scene. And it was like, oh my God, we finally got justice and whatever. And then it was like, oops, sorry, we forgot we made a deal with him. And so he's free now. He's allowed to be free. And Cosby just got away with it all. And they go, oh, well, you know, everybody heard about the trial and everything. And the victims had a momentary, you know, a feeling of justice having been done. Justice being served, and people just fucking move on. Okay, what are we all gonna just fucking cry about him getting out of jail? Or just move on? Oh, now there's a Diddy trial. Yeah, he's having his character assassinated with this tape getting released. How about that? Wow, that's really crazy. And we never hear anything about what the fuck he did to Justin Bieber's tight little hole, when you know he did stuff to that hole, or paid some male escort to, or whatever.
Well, here's what I think. And by the way, just something interesting for you political people. The night that Andrew Gillum was going to have his big celebration that he was going to be, you know, governor. Remember, he was going to win. He had his victory party in Tallahassee.
He's the one that got arrested with the pills and all this stuff, right?
Yeah. Guess who was there? Guess who was at the victory party? P. Diddy.
I did not know that.
Wow.
Just a little fun fact for.
I did not know that. People might want to start looking into that.
Yeah.
Just a little fun fact for politicos. Here's what I think. We had dinner the night at a great restaurant in DeLand called Crest, and it was a bunch of my lawyers, and we went around the table and we said, so far, what we've heard is P. Diddy going to be convicted or acquitted. At our table, it was 8 acquittal and 2 convicted.
Wow.
And the problem for the prosecution is this. Look, it's kinky as hell.
Guys, I'm telling you, it's coming. I'm telling you, they're just gonna say, oh, well, we charged him. He's a free man. We put him through our justice system, and the jury and the judge, and they decided it's fair. We charged him, guys. We can't just keep him in jail without any evidence, right? We don't have anything.
Hell, urinating in the mouth is something. It's like
that's next level. That's next level.
That's perverted.
I'll throw. It's like Coke bottle stuff. Say it. That's just between you and I.
Yeah, they used to talk about fisting. Now they're talking about footing.
Oh gosh.
But it's next level shit. There's no question about it. I don't. They're talking about his penis looking like a Tootsie Roll, and that's also. There's so much outrageous.
Wait, who? A Tootsie Roll? Hold the fuck up, Diddy? Diddy's deal was the size of a Tootsie Roll? Hold the fuck up. Did he actually just say that?
A bunch of my lawyers, and we went around the table and we said, so far, what we've heard is P. Diddy going to be convicted or acquitted? At our table, it was 8 acquittal and 2 convicted.
Wow.
And the problem for the prosecution is this: look, it's kinky as hell. Urinating in a mouth is something like
it's next level. It's next level.
That's perverted.
I'll throw. It's like Coke bottle stuff. Say it. That's just between you and I.
Yeah, they used to talk about fisting. Now they're talking about footing. But it's next level shit. There's no question about it. I don't know. They're talking about his penis looking like a Tootsie Roll, and that's also there's so.
Oh my God, is that for real? Diddy is hung like a Tootsie Roll. Dude, you know, I kind of wondered when we were reading that, and there was so much about him having like the cuck vibe seemed like a vibe for Diddy. Like he wanted to watch other guys do the banging, you know, the penetrating. And the vibe, just the feeling I got from that was, man, I wonder if I seriously was thinking about this. He said he was hung like an infant. Who said? Bro, I got that vibe from hearing all this shit with hiring male prostitutes to do the banging. Bro, that's just like, I mean, if you had to guess, right, you would just assume like maybe that's a factor. He wants to see guys that are like, you know, well hung do the banging because he's not well hung. I don't know.
So much outrageous information. But so far, all we've heard from is Cassie, who's after the fact sending him love notes, coming back, wanting to be there, you know, enjoying the freak offs. I don't see it yet. I don't understand why anybody wants to see a male prostitute banging your girlfriend, but he did. And
yeah, the deal with, I'm not saying in every instance of cucking, it's probably not the case for every instance of cucking, but I feel like that is when that is a possibility, that when you have somebody like Diddy that this is like a big pattern of behavior with him, that he's having a bunch of other men do that kind of stuff. That just screams like insecurity about your own, you know, manhood or something. What is this? Dude, I'm surprised one of these came up. For some reason, I've been getting these ads for these retarded games. I'm just so baffled by it. Guys, I don't play any games. What algorithm am I in that they think I play games? Like I have hours to spend with this mind-numbing, stupid shit. This is crazy. Guys, I'm surprised. This is like probably one of the first times we've gotten a game ad on here. Normally, when I watch YouTube on my phone, these are the ads I get back to back to back. Some stupid fucking game that I will never play. Holy shit.
He allowed it, and I don't understand it yet. They brought her. If I was the defense, I would say you're supposed to start with your strongest part of your case. They started with Cassie, someone who was there for 10 years, sending love notes, going along with it, flying around. Now, look, they're asking to put him in jail for the rest of his life. Yeah, does P. Diddy? I met P. Diddy once. You know, I was partners with Johnny Cochran. I met P. Diddy and Jennifer Lopez together in Johnny's office in New York City. Is he kind of he's finished no matter what.
Right.
He's finished. I mean, he's finished. But life in prison for being a freak, a deviant, a pervert, and all these hanger-oners that were doing it to be with him, and now they're suing him. I don't see it. so far, especially if Cassie, is the strongest part of their case. I think he's despicable. I think he's finished no matter what, but I don't know about prison for the rest of his life.
So, John, I got to let you go. But when you do decide to run, or if you do, can we not necessarily get the scoop, but can we be in the junket, so to speak, of you making the announcement?
Yes, in the jungle. Bubba,
in the jungle.
We'll do the junket in the jungle, and it'll be Bubba's jungle. And listen, the thing about it is you got so many people asking you to do it. But then the other day I had a guy who's really somebody, when people really don't like you, but then they call you up and say, hey, I really think you should run for governor. That's like, you want to see me get hurt.
You want to see me, some skeletons in my closet come out and you guys got me hemmed up on a P. Diddy Willie, something like that.
Yeah. So,
but you know what, John, your whole gimmick, your whole perception.
You got me hung up on an adrenochrome Willie, on a Lolita Express freak off Willie.
In this state is one of transparency. Like, you're the first guy to say, you know what, I've had a couple DUIs, I've messed up a few times, that's why I have a driver. I'm not perfect. I've made some mistakes. Early on with Morgan, Calling, and Gilbert, I bought those two bozos out. I've had a hard way, and I've really turned it around, and I'm now the largest. I'm the largest law firm in the world, and so I don't.
Yeah, guys, it's crazy. I don't know who out of everybody in the chat, if you guys have been in like the Tampa area for long, or Florida in general, but the Tampa area, fucking back in the day, bro, when I was a little ass kid, these commercials would come on and it was an ad for Morgan, Colin, and Gilbert. And it was John Morgan and two other fucking guys that, they're lost in obscurity now. They might be good attorneys or whatever, but it is crazy to see how he's grown into, it's someone that you think you're exposed to, like you think you're remembering anyway, in my case, remembering some niche thing. It's like a thing that just will always stick in my head. Morgan, Colin, and Gilbert for the people. They would do the fucking ad reads. That was when I was a little fucking kid watching like cartoons in the morning, and those fucking ads would come on, and it's crazy to see him become a like national name. I'm seeing his ads on Tim Dillon's podcast, stuff that has like a reach to other fucking countries. I mean, that is pretty wild.
I don't think there's any skeletons in your closet that people that would bring you down.
I don't think there'd be any surprises.
Right.
One time when they were trying to put light rail in Orlando, and it was going to come down I-Drive where I have my attractions and hotels, and I didn't want it. And so I was raising Cain about light rail. Somebody started talking about me running for mayor of Orlando. And the journalist asked me, are you worried about skeletons in your closet being revealed? I said, hell no, I'm worried about last Friday night coming back to me. I said, I don't have skeletons. I got live bodies bound and gagged down in the basement. So kicking the door to get out. So look, what I think, here's the decision I made about myself a long time ago, very much like you, Bubba. I just decided to be me. I decided, sometimes I'd be in a room with a politician and I'd hear him say fuck, and I'd be like, what? My God, he just said fuck. You're just so stunned by it. But
Bro, he's dropping these F-bombs. Bubba's doing Morse code with that fucking dumb button.
Just decided a long time ago that you're not going to be surprised when you meet me. What you see is what you get.
Remember the one time when you were doing medical pot and you were in Lakeland and you decided to go to the country bar and have one too many, and you didn't even deny, like, yeah, I got drunk as hell.
Boots and buckles. Yeah. And listen, I really wasn't that fucked up. And I told people, I said, if you thought I was drunk then, you should have seen me on the bus going home. I mean, that's when I really started drinking.
That's when you really started pouring it on.
Yeah, I'd only had like 3 or 4 drinks at Carrabba's.
Right.
You can't get drunk at Carrabba's.
No, they're
Too much bread, too much pasta. No, it's impossible.
There's too much.
That's true. That's a fact.
If you want to try to get drunk, you don't go to Carrabba's or Red Lobster.
No.
If you're going to get drunk, you got to go to Boots and Buckles.
Yeah.
My God.
And you did, buddy. You did.
And I did.
I'm a lightweight. I can get drunk off of the sunset pina coladas at Red Lobster with the grenadine on the top. I can, please. My little twinkish form, all 140 pounds of me, it takes like 2 of those, and I'm sloshed. I'm useless.
And I was in Grady Judd territory. I was hoping, when I was on the stage, I was telling them, send Grady Judd down. Send my man down.
Yeah. So listen.
But guess what? We only have one life. I'm going to live mine to the fullest.
Yep.
at the end of it all, no matter what, on my tombstone, it's going to say the journey was the reward. The journey is the reward. And I've had a hell of a journey, especially with friends like you. Guys like you make my life so much better because I love characters. I love Bill Clinton. I love characters, and I'm drawn to characters. I'm drawn to all sorts of characters.
I mean, you threw Donald Trump a bone today. He's a character.
Another thing about him, I'll say for him, I don't believe in all this election denying. I mean, that's just a bridge too far for me. But he's a loyal as hell dog. And what I love about him the most is the way he loves his children.
Yeah.
Bubba, can I talk about the election? Joe Biden won all 50 states when it came to mail-in ballots. Donald Trump won all 50 states when it came to in-person voting, even the most liberal states. And then when you see the discrepancy from the 2020 election to the 2024 election, there's nearly 10 million missing voters. Don't you think that seems weird, Mr. Morgan?
No.
And guess what?
I have this sped up, but he really rattled that off pretty fast. That was impressive.
I think you need to get off the cocaine.
I'm trying to get it out because I gotta let the guy go. He's busy. I'm just saying, there was some weird stuff with that election. Come on. I'm not chewing on crazy head.
I thought I was here in a cigarette commercial, and this shit might kill you.
This shit
probably might kill you.
Hey, my friend, let's keep in touch more often. Let's do this more often. I won't have Alex in next time.
Bring Alex in, but I need a button here so I can mute Alex when I want to.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, real quick, and Bubba's gonna kill me. He's gonna say, "Oh, you jobbed out John Morgan. I need this guy. He's a top attorney. Tell him I didn't job you out. If you're gonna be governor, you can handle this."
Listen. What do they say? If you can't take the heat, stay out of the kitchen.
Yes, sir. You can take it. Yes, sir.
Hey, man,
you can handle it.
Yeah, but you know what? You and I are friends, and I hold you very sacred, my friend.
That's awesome.
Listen.
And no disrespect from me, Mr. Morgan. I respect the hell out of you.
No, listen. I worked at Disney. Call me John. We call Walt.
Hold on, for real. Listen to this. John Morgan was goofy. Listen.
No.
Pluto. He was Pluto. John Morgan.
Those characters molest kids.
Hold on. John Morgan was Pluto.
Oh, fuck. That's a pop, Seth.
Oh, for a couple summers at Disney, that's how low on the totem pole he was. Pluto.
No, I was lower than that, Bubba, because I started. Now that wasn't low. Pluto's VIP. Okay. Pluto, Mickey, Minnie, Pluto, Donald, and Goofy. That's the big five.
Right.
Now I had to work my way up. I started as Fiddler Pig, one of the three little pigs.
Not even Chippendale.
Now here's
part of the trio. That's the bottom of the bottom. You start off as a trio.
I'm in the pigsty. Now here's a little trivia. There's Fiddler Pig. What's the name of the other two pigs? Okay, I bet you don't know that. I do. Fiddler, Pfeiffer, and Practical. Then I moved my way from the pig unit. I was then promoted to be King Louie, the gorilla.
Okay.
Song of the South with Baloo. And then, this is no lie, because of my dancing ability, I was then promoted internally to Pluto. I was part of the Big Five.
Do you remember driving home that night saying, "Man, it doesn't get much better than this, bitch. I've gone from a pig to Pluto. I'm pretty."
I've gone from a pig to an 8 to Pluto.
Yeah.
And I'm driving home. I'm in the VIP unit. I'm driving down I-4 going home. There was a Marita bread company that, because I didn't come home till 2 a.m. If I went home, we used to go out to Americana Apartments and party till like 6 a.m. But I'm driving home. I can smell that bread coming out of the Marita bread. I'm Pluto driving my 1968 3-speed Camaro. Life was the best. Listen, those days were the best days of my life.
Listen, my friend, I love you. I can't tell you how much I'm proud of you. And as things progress with what you're doing, let's keep in touch. Tell Demo to call me if
Demo's it. Listen, you need to tell Demo all the bottles you set up for him.
Yeah,
you need VIP for WWE Morgan this Saturday night.
And he'll make it happen.
I guarantee you. He didn't listen, Buff.
If not, I'll call Matt. Matt's his boss.
Matt, Matt, Matt goes to sleep at 8:30 at night, but Dan will be there with the fiance. So we need Demo swag
now in
Uncle Bubba.
Outside of John, what's the hierarchy of the firm?
Well, there's Ultima at the very top.
That's your wife.
She is self-appointed herself.
Okay, so there's Ultima at the very, very, very top, and then there's Ultima. Then quite a distance down to John.
No, I'd say Matt has decided to become number two. Matt has pushed Danny to the side. He's like, hey, I'm here. And then you got Mike, who's the critical, cerebral thinker. Then you got Demo the drunk. And then
the drunk,
and then Daddy. I mean, they've moved me out.
Yeah, but you put your years in. You're the face of the firm. You don't got to do the heavy lifting anymore.
Listen, man, I'm happiest when I'm in Hawaii. I wake up. It's 6 hours behind. It's a beautiful situation. Every night I have some sort of marijuana of some sort. I look at the stars and I just pray to God that my boys are doing their job back here in the mainland.
Hey, you know who I need to connect John with, Bubba?
Who?
Roseanne.
Roseanne O'Donnell?
Roseanne Barr.
Roseanne
She's not in
Barr?
Hawaii. She's my very good friend, John. She loves to smoke too. And I need to connect you with Roseanne.
Well, I'll tell you the buddy that I have out there who's the most incredible friend.
The radio station owner?
Well, that's Chuck, who's my neighbor. He owns 19 stations. I'm going to call him today after this and say, let's get Bubba. But there's a guy there named Shep Gordon. And Shep has if you've never read his book, read it. It's called Supermensch. He's Alice Cooper's. Listen, I was at his New Year's Eve party last time I was there. Here's who performed: Alice Cooper, the guy from Train, Sammy Hagar, Mick Fleetwood, blah 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 blah. Like this goes on and on. Owen Wilson, Mike Myers. They're all there. So the next day, Bubba, I'm at Costco, And
John Morgan goes to Costco.
Well, here comes the best part. So I'm in Costco. Guess who I run into in Costco? Alice Cooper. So now I'm standing in the frozen food section at Costco, and I'm talking to Alice Cooper. We're talking about the party last night at Chef Gordon's house. Then I go to the register and I love Costco. I mean, you get I was buying chili and already made chili.
Guys worth $500 million, and he's worried about saving 20 cents on good Costco.
Kirkland's good stuff.
They got these big pies for $10. But so the guy comes up to me and says, "Are you John Morgan?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Can I ask you a question?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Was that Alice Cooper you were talking to in the frozen food section?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "I'm from Brevard." I said, "I'm from Florida." I said, "I know." He said, "Let's take a picture together." Watch this video, streaming show, Super Mitch, Chef Gordon, and he makes it all happen in Maui. I call Chef the Maui Llama because everybody that comes to Maui goes through Chef Gordon, the most magnificent human being you will ever meet on the face of this earth. He is unbelievable. He introduced me to Don Nelson, who's a great coach, who introduced me to Willie Nelson. I took Demo Swag down to play poker with Willie Nelson one night, and Willie was, we were using these big volcanoes.
Yeah, the vaporizers.
Well, see, Willie can't smoke regular weed anymore because he's got COPD.
So he has to use the vaporizers, the big Zeppelin bags.
And he's got this guy named Mudslide that he goes, "Mudslide, make us enough." So we're going around the table, and it comes to me. I take my hit, and then Paul Simon was sitting next to me, so I hand the bag to Paul Simon. He says, "My wife doesn't like me to smoke and drive." I said, "Okay," so I pass it over to Willie. About an hour later, the bag came around again, so I was bypassing Paul Simon and passing it straight to Willie. Paul Simon grabbed my arm. He said, "I'll take a hit." I said, "I thought your wife didn't like you to smoke and drive." He said, "Fuck it, she's in Texas." but the last hand there, it's just Willie and Demo Swag. The pot is bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It's just those two. And finally, it's time for the call. Willie Nelson shows his cards. Demo Swag shows his cards. Willie Nelson reaches up and starts to pull all the money to himself because we're doing this at his house.
Right.
And Demo Swag's kind of looking there and he goes, "Willie, I think I won." And then we all look at the cards. Demo Swag had, in fact, won.
Had a better hand.
Damn you, Tesla.
Battery's dead.
But now here's the question. Did Willie know that and was just going to take the money anyway? Because this is poker. And if Demo Swag didn't say, "Willie, I won," and when Demo said, "Willie, I won," Willie looked at it and he said very calmly, "Cool."
So was he going to take it if he didn't get called out?
I think he was going to take it, and I think he thought that Demo didn't know.
Right.
And guess what? That's okay in poker.
Street level. It's street level, my
That's
friend.
great.
Street level, my friend. Street level.
Is that a great story?
Great story. Hey, my friend, I love you. I'll text you later today, and I'll be getting a hold of Demo. More importantly, tell Matt, second in charge behind Mama, that I love him. And thank you so much for coming on the show. And let's have you on more often, my friend.
You were part of us forever.
All right, man. We love you, buddy.
Love you. Bye.
Bye, buddy. Thank you. What a great guy, man!
That was awesome.
I love him. He's so candid.
Were you freaking out when Stein
was? A little bit. I was getting ready to say, like, God damn. It's like, Alex, this is my friend. That would be like literally, Alex, I'm not kidding. You having me on your show, and we got Glenn on, and I'm going to start busting Glenn's balls about stuff.
No, it's not the exact one-to-one comparison, but it's not your boss. He's not your boss. So
okay, here's the deal. Here's the deal. Alex,
what was it you couldn't handle anymore?
Alex, if you know anything about radio, though, you should know that if you're a guest of a radio personality who has another guest, it's just proper decorum to go along with what the guest, like the direction.
Damn. Yeah, this was Alex was a loose cannon here. I mean, we love him like that, but oof. That got, you know what? It got a little dicey, but John Morgan handled that perfectly. I mean, John Morgan, he seems like he's an innocent guy, and he's just an actual hard worker, and so that's why he's rich and has connections. I don't think he doesn't seem like the blood drinking type to me.
But I agree. I agree. Proper professionalism. If you have a guest on, you have to be nice.
Decorum to follow my lead.
No, first of all, I didn't say anything bad about John Morgan. I said something bad about Bill Clinton.
I know.
And so,
that was on the edge of nuclear explosion, but I'll tell you, it was a great interview.
Yeah,
that was fun.
That was, and he did handle it. He can handle it fine.
But
I didn't say anything about him. I just said something about
But you have to understand old school radio. Like, what if Howard had had me on? And Howard's a super lib and he's going crazy. I would just sit there and shut up. I wouldn't upset the apple cart.
Yeah, but see, this is the thing. The best content is when there's a little debate, there's a little kickback. So I don't want to just sit here and just, I wanted to try to make things interesting. I want to mix it up. I mean, it's like a reality TV show.
He couldn't co-sign on all the Bill Clinton glazing.
But it wasn't even like that, Bubba. It's like a reality TV show. We could just sit here and agree with him the whole time, or we could give him a little kickback and see how he handled it. I thought he handled it pretty well. If he's really going to run for governor, then I think that he should be prepared to answer questions a little hard. And it wasn't you asking the question, so it's not you that's getting in trouble.
It's my show, and I'm responsible.
But nothing happened. I didn't ask him anything that we're asking. Like I dropped him the N-bomb or asked him something hard. What did I say? I said Bill Clinton's a pervert. I said that you don't believe in a baby's a life, but if they get killed in the womb, it's a life according to insurance companies.
Can you help me out a little bit?
Knowing you, Bubba, I mean, I thought that you might jump over the whole thing and jump on.
Dude, that's what I'm saying, bro. That was wild. God damn.
I texted Seth and Steve to tell me.
He texted me, shut up. Yeah,
Alex finally stopped and started waving up.
Alex, do you understand my position?
Oh yeah, so Rainey, you were right. He did. He said he texted him.
Stein, this is my God. This is my God. This is my friend.
Yeah, but I would like to tell me what I did wrong. Tell me what I did wrong.
You didn't do anything wrong because you pulled the nose up. But Alex, this is my friend.
Never really down.
This is my friend, and I'm not a bonsai. I'm not going to bonsai my friend.
But it wasn't a bonsai. We didn't ask him. I didn't say. And first of all, if you want to be honest right now, you're the one that brought up that he had DWIs. I had no idea that John Morgan ever had a DWI.
That's all.
I don't understand. You were dropping him out when you said that. So let's be real. I never brought up his DWI. I never brought about any skeletons in the closet. I said that the president Bill.
Oh, this is. I think Bubba's getting a little upset here. I don't blame him.
Clinton was not the greatest guy ever. That's not a shot at John. So I don't think me interjecting that could even be considered.
When I have somebody that's not my personal friend, then you can do that. But when I have somebody that like Dion or Tony Stewart or
I can tell Dion that I don't like Bill Clinton. Why would that be bad?
Bubba, I thought the biggest thing that you finally did was when you told John Morgan who Alex Stein was, because he didn't know what was going on, and then when you finally said, "Hey, this is Alex Stein. He works at the Blaze with Glenn Beck," like that's when it all. I think that's when it all became fun.
That made it better.
Yeah,
that made it understandable.
Okay, first of all, we're acting like something just happened. I called AOC a big booty Latina. Like I've done much worse. This is nothing.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Were you not? Hold on.
You're in the lummy chair today.
Were you not impressed that he gave Donald Trump a little bit of a?
Exactly right, and I set that up too. You could argue that I set that up. I did. I set it up with the
You can get your things and get out of my apartment immediately.
So I set that up. Listen, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, and I respect John Morgan 1,000%. I would, and nothing that I said, you can go back and watch the tape, would be considered.
You're fired. Get out of
here. Oh fuck.
Through him. So
you're fired. Get out of here.
I was just trying to mix things up.
You're fired. Get out of here.
I'm the bad guy. I apologize.
We're way late.
That is a really good use of that drop, Bubba. That is really funny.
I don't know how many affiliates stuck around and how many did not.
He just said he's going to get you some more affiliates because you're such a good interview. You just said, hey, Maui, I'm going to connect you. So thank you. You're welcome.
Hey, Bubba, I'm in on those wrestling tickets. I don't know who Demo is, but
Jesus,
I'm there. John Cena's wrestling R-Truth.
I think we should skip an after show today because I think we had a good enough. I think we went over long enough to almost warrant that.
We went over and we had a high spot at the end. So
hold on now. If we do an after show with Alex, I think we need to do one.
I'll do a show.
Yeah, we can do a little short one.
Yeah, we can get into a big ass argument about today.
Good, let's do it. I'm down.
Thanks for letting me finish.
All right. I don't have time to get into the after show. Guys, I got to work on this parody song. It's recorded. I just got to edit in these samples from Bubba's show and work out the levels and stuff, and it's good to go. I got to get that in tonight. I'd like to. Anyway, yeah, ladies and gentlemen. I was going to tell you guys my story. So guys, this is pretty funny. Show's not over yet. Let me show you guys this. Okay, so you guys know I'm going to Wyoming. All right. This is where we're going. It's in June, this coming month. I'm going to Wyoming. My buddy is going out there, possibly looking for work. It's mainly for a vacation to go out there. There's a few different things we want to go see. I've mentioned a few different things that I wanted to go. The main one being Devil's Tower. It looks cool as fuck. I wanted to go out there really fucking bad. When my friend went, my butt buddy, when he went out there and he had pictures of Devil's Tower and with the snow too, which I don't know if I want to deal with snow. But anyway, it's not going to be like that when I go out there now, obviously. But anyway, it looks so fucking awesome with the snow and everything. And I was like, holy fuck, man, that is so awesome. It's from a fucking alien movie. It just looks like something out of a movie when you see this Devil's Tower thing. It looks so fucking awesome. And then we're also going to go to, what's it called? These caves that are out there. I think they're crystal caves. I forget what the fuck, but there's different caves to go out there to go to. We're going to, what's his name? Crazy Horse. We're going to see that. And possibly the, what's it called? Mount Rushmore. Probably going to see that. But yeah, there's all kinds of different shit to go see. Also, the dinosaur museums and stuff. There's all kinds of shit that we're gonna try to make it to out there. One of the things we're going to see is the Tetons. I don't know if you guys have ever heard about this, about the Teton Range in Wyoming. I had never heard of it by this name, the Tetons. Okay. This is just this is my story or whatever, because my buddy brought this up. We were talking about this the other night. We've been planning the trip, you know, figuring out where we're gonna go, when, and Teton, yes, Teton. It's spelled Teton. But anyway, we've been talking about this. My friend has brought these up, and he's like, "Yeah, I want to take you to the Tetons to go see those, and possibly, you know, climb or whatever the fuck. I don't know exactly what you can do there, but he was talking about going to the Tetons, and I was like, "What the fuck is that? I don't know what the fuck." And boobs, Adam Wiley. It's funny you say that, because that is what the name is originated from. That is the name Tetons actually means tits in, I forget what language, either Spanish or Italian or something. It means boobs, because some of the mountains, the way that they look, some of them look like boobs from when you're standing at a certain angle. And it's funny because I was like, what? And then I looked at them. I looked up some pictures, and I was like, holy fuck, I see it. I see what they're talking about. A couple of these pictures, when you're looking at them, it's like the mountains look like some perky tits. I was like, God damn. I contributed to this show in all ways. Yes, you do. You do, sir. But yeah, so that's what the name means, is tits. And anyway, my buddy's talking about it, and I'm like, let me look it up, because I'm just like, you know, I don't know. He's mentioned the Tetons a couple times, and we're going to see that. And it's just something I don't know about, but I trust him. I'm like, yeah, let's go. Fuck it. We're going to hike. Yeah, fuck it. I'm down. And so I looked this up. Let me bring you guys. This is so funny, man. I lost my shit. So let me bring you to Wikipedia. I'll go down here. So I'm like, let me look this up. I go to Wikipedia. The Teton Range is a mountain range of the Rocky Mountains in North America. It extends for approximately 40 miles in a north-south direction through the U.S. state of Wyoming. East of the Idaho state line, it is south of Yellowstone National Park, and we're probably going to go there. And most of the east side of the range is within Grand Teton National Park. One of the theories says the early French voyagers named the range Les Trois Tetons, the three nipples, after the breast-like shape of its peaks. Another theory says the range is named for the Teton Sioux, also known as the Lakota people. It is likely that the local Shoshone people once called the whole range Tiwanaut, meaning many pinnacles. Primary summits. So yeah, it's breaking down the different summits. Check out this picture. Now, this is one of the pictures where I said, "Oh, I get it." Because at first I was like, "What do you mean they look like tits? What are you talking about?" But like, if you look, will it let me zoom in? Oh fuck! Oh shit! Here we go, bro. Look at this one. That looks like a boob, like a woman that's laying on her back. That looks like a boob right there. That really does to me. Yeah, some of them look, I mean, some of them kind of look like tits. That one looks like she needs a mammogram. Anyway, this one looks very tit-like too. The shape of this is very like, kind of just looks like a woman that's laying on her back and the tits are just like sticking up. How do I get out of this? How do I get out of this? Damn you. Hold on. Oh, here we go. I got it. Let me bring you guys back over here. Okay. So anyway, you know me, I just like to whatever. I'm like, oh, let me read about some of what this says. Geology, whatever. I'm reading through whatever. Jackson Hole. I was like, oh, that's funny. Jackson Hole. I probably made some stupid joke. I don't know. Between 6 and 9 million years ago, stretching and thinning of the Earth's crust caused movement along the Teton Fault. The west block along the fault line rose to form the Teton Range. That's fucking nuts. So these fucking faults were pushing these at a fault line. The land was fucking pushing together and made the fucking mountains pop up, I guess is what we're going with. If you believe that. You know, you might think that God just made the mountain too. Okay, so here we go. So I'm just reading different bullshit with this, whatever. Guys, tell me, look, this is just funny. As much as I've been talking about Kanye West on here, the stuff happening with Kanye right now, my parody song about Kanye West and everything. Guys, imagine me shitting myself when I read this. So, as a filming location, that just caught my eye. I was like, ooh, what is it? What does it talk about filming location? So here we go. The Tetons and Jackson Hole have been the settings for a number of films, including John Wayne's film acting debut in The Big Trail in 1930 and the Western film classic Shane in 1953. Mount Moran, I don't know, and the surrounding mountains were used as a backdrop for the lake swamp setting in the original television series Land of the Lost. In addition, this mountain range is shown on the cover of the rapper Kanye West's 8th album, Yay. Dude, read that right there. Read this. This mountain range is shown on the cover of rapper Kanye West's 8th album, Yay. Let's go to that. Bro, look at the fucking mountains. You gotta be kidding me. I'm going out to to the fucking place where Kanye got his album cover. I'm going to take a picture here. Bro, is that not fucking hilarious? I lost my mind when I read this. I was at my friend's house and I just busted out fucking laughing. This is one of the mountains that I'm going to see. Just so happens to be one of Kanye West's album covers. I had no fucking idea. I swear to God, this was not planned. This is so weird. Bro, this is so weird. Surrounding an interview with TMZ, West produced Yay with Mike Dean alongside numerous others, succeeding the release of Pusha T's Daytona. The album was the second of 5 albums produced by West in what were referred to as the Wyoming Sessions, which were set to be released weekly. It preceded the release of West's collaborative album with Kid Cudi as Kids See Ghosts titles Kids See Ghosts. The latter's release was succeeded by the Nasir and Tiana Taylor's KTSE. Bro, that's funny. That is fucking wild, guys. So yeah, I'm going out to see Kanye's album cover. I want to see if I can get in this actual very spot and take a picture as if it's like, make it look almost close enough that you'd think, wait, did I just Photoshop myself in there? No, bitch. I'm right there. I'm right fucking here in this open field. Dude, that is so fucking funny. That's synchronicity right there, guys. That's some real synchronicity. That shit is so funny. All right, I got to get the fuck out of here for real. I'm going to hop on right now onto GarageBand and get these samples in, and then I might eat dinner and then come back and finish editing. So yeah, guys, we're going to get this done. New parody song is it's pretty good, guys. It's going to be pretty good. I hope they play it. That'd be a good rib if they if Bubba never played this one also. That'd be a good rib. That's troll level 1000. Blow my fucking mind with that. I'm just playing, guys, for real. I hope they do play it. It's pretty good. I hope they get use out of it. I hope they like it. But yeah, we'll see. Tomorrow, I'll see you guys 8 o'clock-ish. I guess Alex Stein isn't doing a show. Is he going live from anywhere? I don't know what his plans are for. I mean, he's in Tampa, so obviously he's not going to be live in his studio. But they've done different stuff where Jimmy operates it and, Stein kind of does on location kind of whatever from his phone. We'll see if that happens. I don't know. All right, guys, everybody take it easy. Thank you for the support. He talked about it? What happened? What did he say? What are they going to do, Holyoke? Because I don't have time to get into that. I don't even have time to listen to that after I get off live here. Yeah, Scott Starber didn't go live tonight either. I looked for that. I was like, what the fuck? And I was hoping I could go on early since no Stein and no Scott, and I couldn't do that. Just too busy. Yeah, tomorrow is the big day, but did he say anything about I know that, but did he say anything about what he's doing for his main show, his studio show? He'll be around till Thursday. All right, we'll see what happens. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Dark Times with Dark Match Steve. Thanks for hanging with us. It was a fun stream. I got to catch up with what happened on Bubba's show today. I knew that was going to be a good segment. When is Tud going to Okeechobee? I didn't hear, so they talked about that today, but I guess I could text Tuttle and see, but maybe I shouldn't spill that information. Bubba's making Stein take Tuttle with him. I heard that today. Tomorrow night going live? Yeah, from where he's doing his deal. Yeah. I hear you, Joe. Okay, so that's his show. I guess tomorrow, though, or no, yeah, he's going live on Bubba's show on Wednesday. That's what he said. Tomorrow's Tuesday. the big day, and then he's going on with Bubba. All right, we'll see what he does. Anyway, all right, guys, thank you all for the support. Please, if you haven't already, hit the like button on your way out. If you do want to throw a few dollars my way, it's not necessary. I really want everyone to hit the like button and subscribe and all that and enjoy the show. If you want to show a little extra support monetarily, perhaps, I have a PayPal and a Venmo. On PayPal, I am Darkmatch, DARKMATCH. And then on Venmo, I am Darkmatch Steve, DARKMATCHSTEVE. So I'll see you guys tomorrow night. I'll be live after Stein or whatever. Well, I'll, if he's doing something live that's interesting and it breaks into my time, we'll figure it out, guys. Maybe I'll stream snipe him or something. I don't know. But we want to be there to support our boy Stein. So either way, I'll see you guys tomorrow night at some time. Stay ready. 8 p.m. around 8 p.m. Eastern. Love you.